The show follows Jim and his sidekick Peter Puppy, and sometimes Princess What's-Her-Name, fighting evil and exploring different surreal worlds. Jim isn't really the brightest hero. Sometimes he'd jump into action without thinking, or fall for bad disguises from villains. With that said, his heart is still in the right place most of the time, and he still has a desire to save the day. Jim is definitely an enjoyable protagonist, topped with a great performance from Dan Castellaneta. Though sometimes you can hear a bit of Homer Simpson, mainly when Jim screams or cries. A lot of Jim's gadgets from the games carried over to the show, notably his plasma blaster, his pocket rocket, his mantis shield, even if that was only used twice. There's even some original stuff like the Gray Cycle, and the suit itself having super strength, mainly because the suit is powered by a battery from the Greek gods of this universe. Then there's Peter Puppy, Jim's sidekick slash best friend slash timid straight man. Peter was a character in the games who had 2 dedicated levels each. In the first game it was an escort mission, and the second game you're bouncing his puppies to safety. If you mess up on either level, Peter will turn into a monster and attack you. That was translated into the show. Wherever Peter gets hurt or angry or stressed, he would turn to a monster and attack Jim. Despite this condition, and Peter not being the bravest, he's still willing to go on these crazy escapades with Jim, and would kinda be lost without him. When Peter was an average dog, he was an outcast amongst his peers. But one day he decided to go up against the biggest threat to dog kind. Vacuum cleaners. The vacuum was apparently a portal to heck, where Evil the Cat, more on him later, gave Peter the monster curse, which also made him sentient. In this new condition, Peter was also an outcast. Despite the show being a zany comedy, I couldn't help but feel bad for Peter. He had such a miserable life before meeting Jim. In a few episodes, we see Peter not be able to be Jim's sidekick. One episode is because Jim is fed up with Peter's monster form, and the other one is where Jim turns himself into the police. And Peter gets really depressed about it. Given the context of the origin episodes, this makes a lot of sense. Not a whole much left to say about Peter. He serves his purpose well enough as a straight man to Jim's idiocy.
Earthworm Jim, the soil he did crawl.